tell me you down there at the Fat Burger fighting over Tiny. Now that's T.I., man. You gonna cause these to buy more guns in Atlanta.
Just when people thought the drama between 50 Cent and T.I. was finally cooling off, things flipped again. Fast. After T.I.'s late mother got dragged into a feud that originally started over a versus battle nobody even asked for, 50 Cent pulled a wild reverse move and started exposing family secrets in public. Yeah, the situation got messy quick and the internet lit up like a Christmas tree.
Well, I can't, with my intentions, if I have a problem, you know, my MO, and I would just say something. You know, so it's not really directed at him. It's me taking real life situations, absolutely, for the public to decide.
I've got the full rundown of what really went down, so let's break it all the way down. First, you gotta understand the family situation, because without that, the February 2026 drama won't make much sense. T.I., born Clifford Joseph Harris Jr., and Tameka Tiny Cottle have been one of hip-hop's most talked about couples for more than 20 years. They started dating back in 2001 and eventually tied the knot in 2010. Since then, they've built a huge household together, 7 kids in total. But here's the part people often overlook. All 7 children don't share the same biological parents. This is a real blended family, built from relationships on both sides, and somehow they managed to keep everything looking smooth, at least in public. On T.I.'s side, before he ever settled down with Tiny, he already had children with 2 different women. His first 2 sons, Messiah Your Majesty and Domani Uriah, were born in 2000 and 2001 to a woman named Lashin Dixon. T.I. has spoken many times about how learning he was about to become a father completely changed the direction of his life.
I said I wanted 50, that's what I said. He don't want no smoke though.
Oh, Lord.
I called my man out, he don't want no smoke, he ducking smoke, it's cool.
When he found out his son Messiah was on the way, it pushed him to step back from the streets and focus on music instead. And when you really think about it, that moment may have helped shape the whole trap music movement as we know it today. Then things moved even faster in his personal life. Just 3 months after his son Domani was born, T.I. welcomed another child into the world. This time it was a daughter, Deja Imani, born June 17, 2001, with a woman named Ms. Nico, whose real name is Ms. Nico Martin. Deja mostly grew up with her mother but still appeared with the Harris family from time to time, especially when their reality TV life was on display. Over the years, she's built her own online presence and has spoken openly about topics like mental health, which has earned her a lot of respect from fans who appreciate her honesty. On Tiny's side of the family, she also entered the relationship already being a mother. Her first daughter, Zonique Jaylee Pullins, was born in 1996 from her previous relationship with musician Zoni Zebo Pullins. When T.I. came into the picture, he stepped in as a stepfather. And from everything the public has seen, their bond has always seemed real and supportive. Zonique later followed in her mom's footsteps by joining the music group OMG Girls, then eventually branching out on her own. She later became a mother herself in 2020, continuing the growing family legacy. Then there are the 3 children T.I. and Tiny share together. King Harris was born August 25, 2004, followed by Major Philin Harris on May 16, 2008, and their youngest daughter, heiress Diana Harris, born March 26, 2016. But between King and Major, the family experienced a heartbreaking loss that many people rarely talk about. In 2007, Tiny went through the pain of a stillbirth at 6 months pregnant. Their baby girl, whom they named Leia Amore Harris, was delivered privately while surrounded by close family. Tiny later shared that this was one of the darkest moments of her life. Because of that loss, the family often refers to Major as their rainbow baby, the child who came after the storm. So when 50 Cent decided to take shots at this family in February 2026, he wasn't just stirring up drama with some random celebrity couple putting on a perfect show. He was stepping straight into a complicated family story filled with real history, real struggles, and a lot of emotion. So when the drama started heating up, it wasn't just about 2 rappers throwing shots online. 50 Cent was aiming straight at a household with 7 kids from different relationships, a family that had already gone through heartbreaking loss after burying their baby girl, and a family that spent years letting the public into their lives. For over a decade, cameras followed them inside their home on VH1's T.I. and Tiny, The Family Hustle. The show ran from 2011 to 2017 and showed everything: co-parenting struggles, career moves, family arguments, and those big emotional moments that made viewers feel like they really knew them. A lot of people literally watch these kids grow up on television, so that history matters when you look at the drama that exploded later. And today, the kids have all been carving out their own paths. Damani isn't just another rapper trying to ride his father's name either. He actually earned a Tony Award nomination for his work connected to SpongeBob SquarePants, the Broadway musical, something many fans never even realized. Deja has also built her own voice online, speaking openly about mental health and personal growth, which has brought her a lot of support from people who relate to her story. Then there's King, the one who ended up right in the center of the controversy. He performs under the name Kid Cyan and has been releasing his own music since around 2020, trying to build his own lane in the industry. But before all of this new drama even started, there was already gossip swirling around the family. Back in 2023, some people online tried to spread rumors claiming T.I. wasn't King's real father. Tiny shut that talk down immediately. She called it the biggest bullshit ever and straight up clickbait, saying she barely even knew the person people were naming and telling everyone to leave her family alone. The rumor died out pretty fast, but it showed something important.
We were moving around in LA, man, selling some TV shows and shit while we were around each other, man, you know what I mean? I said, hey, what you think about this? Like, shit, you wanna do that? I said, yes. He was like, all right, cool, so shit. And I told him, I said, well, I'm gonna jump out there first, and then you just gonna jump out there and we'll line it up. What's going on? Then that's what it was about. Cause now I question your case.
This family has been dealing with internet gossip and wild speculation for years. What exploded in February 2026 was really just the loudest version of something this family had been dealing with for years. Online rumors, gossip pages, and random accusations have followed them for a long time, and this moment just turned the volume all the way up. Now let's talk about Tiny's personal life for a second, because when 50 Cent decided to post that photo of her, it didn't come completely out of nowhere. Her name has been dragged into headlines before, but a lot of those stories were either exaggerated or straight up speculation. Before Tiny and T.I. became a couple, she really only had one long-term relationship. That was with Zonnie Zebo Pullins, the father of her daughter Zonique, from around 1992 to 1998. By all public accounts, that relationship ended without major drama, and both of them moved on with their lives. Tiny has also spoken about a brief moment in the 1990s involving Tupac Shakur. Back in 1994, during Escape's early touring days, she said there was a situation that almost turned into something more. She shared that story herself on their reality show, describing it as a moment that never fully developed. Tupac passed away in 1996, and whenever Tiny talks about that memory, she does it carefully and respectfully, not like she's trying to turn it into some wild scandal. The rumor that followed her the longest involved boxing champion Floyd Mayweather. Around 2014, a video surfaced showing T.I. confronting Mayweather at a Las Vegas location because he suspected something might have been going on between Floyd and Tiny. Tiny later addressed the situation directly in a 2018 interview. She said she never slept with Mayweather and explained that during a difficult period in her marriage, Floyd had been flirting with her, and the attention made her feel better at the time. Mayweather also spoke about it in his own interview, saying he had known Tiny for years but that things never crossed that line. And despite all the talk online, no real evidence of anything physical ever came out. What was widely reported, though, were the issues inside T.Y. and Tiny's marriage at that time. Stories about T.Y.'s own cheating, including reports linking him to model Bernice Burgos in 2017, became a major reason people believed the relationship was falling apart. Tiny officially filed for divorce in December 2016, and that filing was real. Court records confirmed it happened in Henry County, Georgia, where she cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split. Tiny actually filed for divorce again in April 2017, after the first filing didn't go through properly because T.I. had not been officially served the paperwork. But by the summer of 2017, the situation took another turn. The divorce was called off, and instead of separating, the two decided to work things out and keep moving forward together. Both of them have spoken openly about that period since then. Tiny didn't sugarcoat anything either. She admitted the filing happened because of cheating, lying, and disrespect, explaining that the decision was about protecting her self-respect and standing up for herself. T.I., on the other hand, described Tiny as his best friend and made it clear he didn't believe a bond like that should be thrown away so easily. In the end, they chose to stay together and rebuild their relationship. And years later, they looked stronger than ever. By 2025, the couple was celebrating their 15th wedding anniversary on a yacht in Thailand, posting loving messages across Instagram and calling each other the love of their lives. Then, in February 2026, they were walking the Grammys' red carpet side by side like nothing had ever shaken their marriage. Whatever storms they went through seemed to be firmly in the past. But that's exactly when 50 Cent decided to stir the pot again and drag old drama right back into the spotlight. To really understand why King Harris jumped into the situation so aggressively in February 2026, you have to go way back. The tension between T.I. and 50 Cent didn't start yesterday. It's been simmering for nearly 20 years. And most of that tension revolves around one explosive word in hip-hop culture: snitch. The story traces back to 2007 when T.I. got caught up in federal weapons charges. Authorities said he tried to buy machine guns and silencers through a bodyguard who turned out to be an undercover ATF agent. Because T.I. was already a convicted felon, the situation was extremely serious and could have led to close to a decade in prison. Instead, after pleading guilty and completing more than 1,000 hours of community service, including speaking to young people about gun violence across 25 states, he received a sentence of 1 year and 1 day. In the end, he served roughly 10 months behind bars. For a lot of people in hip-hop, that short sentence didn't make sense at all, and 50 Cent made sure everybody heard his opinion about it. On G-Unit's 2008 track, You So Tough, he rapped about someone getting caught with 10 machine guns and only doing about a year. The message wasn't exactly subtle. When interviewers asked if the line was aimed at T.I., 50 kept things cool on the surface, but he definitely made sure the point landed. Then another moment added fuel to the talk. In 2008, T.I. appeared in a Crime Stoppers advertisement asking the public for tips about unsolved crimes, including the 2006 murder of his close friend and assistant, Philip Johnson, who was shot after a concert in Cincinnati. In hip-hop circles, that ad became a major talking point. And when T.I. later testified during the trial connected to that case in 2010, critics, including 50 Cent, kept pointing to it as proof he had cooperated with law enforcement. T.I. has always pushed back on that narrative. He explained that his community service came from the plea deal, and his testimony was about the killing of his own friend, not about sending someone to prison for unrelated crimes. He even said clearly in a 2020 interview, Tip has never given any information to any law enforcement to get any man any amount of time period. Still, in hip-hop, perception can stick longer than the facts, and 50 Cent never fully let that issue go. Things stayed quiet for years, until the Versus battle era started bringing old rivalries back into the spotlight. Ty later explained that the Versus battle conversation had actually happened privately between him and 50 Cent while they were both in Los Angeles working on a TV deal together. So from his perspective, bringing it up publicly wasn't starting a fight, it was just continuing a conversation they already had. But 50 Cent didn't respond with a diss track or a long interview. Instead, he did what he usually does. He went straight to Instagram. He posted an unflattering photo of Tiny Harris and warned T.I. to keep his name out of his mouth. Then he pulled old receipts back out of the archives, reposting the Crime Stoppers video and footage from the 2010 court testimony. But the photo of Tiny was the post that really set everything off. King Harris, who was 21 at the time and already a young father, jumped online immediately. This wasn't some carefully planned rap response. It was a son reacting after seeing his mother publicly disrespected. Things escalated fast when King brought up 50 Cent's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, who passed away in a house fire in 1975 when 50 was a child. The posts and diss tracks that followed quickly split the entire internet down the middle. The situation kept escalating fast. Diss tracks started flying from every direction. T.I. dropped responses like "War, the right one," and "What bully," while also posting that well-known photo of 50 Cent during his extreme weight loss for the 2011 film All Things Fall Apart. The message was loud and clear. This wasn't staying quiet anymore. At that point, the whole Harris camp seemed locked in. King Harris then took things even further when he posted what he claimed was 2009 FBI paperwork accusing 50 Cent of anonymously tipping federal agents about Jimmy Henchman. The document was tied to the 2009 killing of Lowell Lodi Mac Fletcher, a G-Unit affiliate who was shot in the Bronx. Prosecutors later said Henchman ordered the hit as retaliation for an attack on his teenage son. King shared the paperwork online and framed it as proof that the same snitch accusations once thrown at T.I. should actually be aimed at 50 Cent instead. But there was a big problem with that move. Law enforcement sources had already called that document fake years earlier. Reports said it was never filed, and investigators stated 50 Cent was never interviewed or listed as a cooperating witness in the case. Even with that clarification floating around, the post spread quickly online, and the internet debate exploded all over again. 50 Cent quickly shut down the rumors. In an interview clip that started circulating online, he said clearly, "I never told on anyone in my life. That's all fabricated." He even challenged people to name a single person he supposedly informed on, pointing to his long history with figures like Jimmy Henchman and Kenneth Supreme McGriff as proof. Not long after that, 50 started cleaning up his Instagram page, quietly deleting posts related to the feud and shifting his focus back to promoting his Broadway production of Joe Turner's Come and Gone. But the internet wasn't done stirring things up. Rick Ross jumped into the situation from the sidelines and added his own twist. Under one of King Harris's posts showing the controversial t-shirt, Ross commented asking King to send him one in his size. King replied saying he'd send it, and people weren't surprised. Ross and 50 Cent have had tension going back to 2008, so he clearly wasn't about to miss the chance to poke at the situation. Then on February 26th, King made a move that caught a lot of people off guard. He posted an apology, but not to 50 Cent. Instead, he apologized directly to 50's eldest son, Marquise Jackson, saying, "What I said was out of emotion and ain't have to be said. You got none to do with it." The message made it clear he didn't want Marquise dragged into a fight that wasn't his. Marquise Jackson never responded publicly, but the apology still got attention. Several media outlets pointed to King Harris's message as a rare moment of accountability in the middle of a heated few days online. But while that was happening, the drama kept spreading far beyond just King, T.I., and 50 Cent. On February 24th, Tina Knowles, Beyoncé's mother, shared a glamorous video of Tiny Harris on Instagram, praising her grace and feminine energy. Tiny replied in the comments thanking her, clearly appreciating the support after being publicly mocked. 50 Cent saw the post and fired back online. He shared a photo of Tina Knowles with a caption joking about grandmothers getting involved, along with a reference that many people felt crossed the line by bringing a child into the conversation. The internet reacted instantly, and the backlash was heavy. Beyoncé's fan base and many others flooded social media calling the comment out. By February 25th, 50 Cent had removed those posts and wiped the rest of the feud-related content, shifting his page back to promoting his Broadway show opening April 25th, 2026. Right in the middle of all that chaos, there was actually a moment that made people laugh. The South Fulton Police Department jumped on Facebook after saying they received calls about the beef. They joked that it was a verbal discrepancy of lyrical proportions and even tagged the NYPD in the post. The internet ate it up for a minute, and it briefly lightened the mood around the whole situation. Another thing that needed clearing up was a viral video involving T.I. and Tiny's youngest daughter, Heiress. Clips started spreading online claiming the 9-year-old had jumped into the feud by singing and clapping back at 50 Cent, but that story wasn't true. The video was old and had nothing to do with the February 2026 drama. It looked like a clip from years earlier of a younger Heiress simply singing and playing around, the kind of videos her parents had shared before. People quickly pointed out the child in the clip looked much younger than she does today. The Harris family never involved her in the feud. Every real response came from the adults. By early March 2026, the back and forth had mostly gone quiet and the drama faded out of the spotlight. But once the noise dies down, there's a bigger point sitting underneath all of this. The whole situation started when 50 Cent posted a photo of someone's wife just to win a social media argument. That single post pulled a 21-year-old son into the middle of the fight, and King reacted with raw emotion. But the situation escalated even further when the conversation dragged in people who had nothing to do with the original issue. At one point, a comment about a child sparked major backlash online, and suddenly the drama wasn't just about music or old rivalries anymore. Tina Knowles had simply tried to support Tiny publicly and ended up getting pulled into the storm. Meanwhile, the internet turned the whole thing into memes. Rick Ross jumped in joking about getting one of the shirts, and social media kept the circus going. Lost in all that noise is the reality that the Harris family has lived their lives in the public eye for more than 20 years. Their marriage, their ups and downs, their kids, and even their legal battles have all played out under a spotlight. By early 2026, T.I. and Tiny had continued denying past allegations and said those claims were attempts to pressure them for money. Regardless of where people stand, the February 2026 drama showed how quickly personal family issues can turn into a massive internet spectacle. King Harris came into the situation swinging with everything he had. Some of it probably went too far, and even he admitted that later. But in the middle of all that heat, he still made a point to separate someone innocent from the drama, and that says a lot about how he was raised. By March 2nd, 2026, the Versus battle between T.Y. and 50 Cent still hadn't happened. And honestly, it probably never will. But for one wild week in February, a simple music debate turned into something way more personal. It became a story about family, loyalty, and what happens when someone feels like their mother has been publicly disrespected. What do you think about this whole situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more stories like this. I'll catch you in the next one.